Right. So we did the double circulatory system. Yeah, we did it. We were supposed to start with the human heart, right? Human heart. The double circulatory
Sir, we didn't write the notes for this.
double circulatory system. Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. I'll do that. Give me just a minute. Yes. So please write it down. Human heart, human circulatory system. Please note it down. Humans have double circulatory system. Double circulatory system, as the blood complete two cycles. The blood complete two cycles of heart at one time. That is pulmonary, that is pulmonary and systemic circulation. Full stop. Next paragraph. In systemic circulation, vena cava bring deoxygenated blood from tissues. Vena cava bring deoxygenated blood from tissues and pour into right atrium. Full stop. The aorta.
Sir, can you please repeat deoxygenated blood from tissues?
From tissues into right atrium. Full stop. Next paragraph. Aorta takes oxygenated blood. Aorta takes oxygenated blood from left ventricle. Aorta takes oxygenated blood from left ventricle and pour into, or rather than pour, and supply to all the tissues of organs with the help of supply to all the tissues of organ with the help of artery. Full stop. Next subheading, pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation. Write it down in pulmonary circulation. In pulmonary circulation, deoxygenated blood is taken from right ventricle. In pulmonary circulation, deoxygenated blood is taken from right auricle and it is supplied to lung, where the exchange of gases supplied to lungs, where the exchange of gases takes place, where the exchange of gases takes place.
Can you please repeat from supplied to?
Supplied to lungs, where the exchange of gases takes place. Next paragraph. No, in same paragraph, write it down. The deoxygenated blood is supplied from heart to lungs by pulmonary artery. Full stop. This is the only artery in human body. This is the only artery in human body which carry deoxygenated blood. Next point. The oxygenated blood is taken by pulmonary vein, which pour it into right atrium, the left atrium, which pour it into left atrium. Full stop. Pulmonary vein is the only vein. Pulmonary vein is the only vein in human body. Pulmonary vein is the only vein in human body which carry oxygenated blood. Right? So the next topic is human heart. Now we are going to, this was a double circulation circulatory system. Now we have to discuss the human heart, right? I think it must be clear, it's easy, right? So
yes, sir.
Next is human heart. I don't know where are the rest of the people today. Human heart. So I'm going to tell you the anatomy of a human heart. Human heart anatomy. Anatomy anatomy of human. So look, this is the structure of human heart. This is the actually anatomy of human heart, right? So look, this part is called right atrium, and this part is called left atrium. So it have two atrium, right? And the blood is coming into, right? Blood is coming into the right atrium with the help of these two. So this is called superior vena cava. Superior vena cava bring deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body, like from the upper part, head, clavicle, and all that, right? Inferior vena cava, superior vena cava is a bit smaller, and inferior vena cava is a bit larger. Inferior vena cava brings down deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body. It's a bit larger. So both of them, they pour the deoxygenated blood into right atrium. From right atrium, blood come to right ventricle. From right ventricle, this blood goes inside and from here. And from here, it is transferred to right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary artery. These both of the pulmonary artery, they takes the blood to the lungs, right? They take the blood to the lungs. Again, now the blood comes back from the lungs and it comes back as a oxygenated blood. So oxygenated blood comes back with the help of pulmonary vein. We have studied. So pulmonary vein, these are the pulmonary vein. They brings the oxygenated blood. After that, the oxygenated blood, it reaches to left atrium. From left atrium, it reaches to left ventricle. From left ventricle, the oxygenated blood is distributed like this way. This is called actually aortic arc. This is aorta. And this pipeline is curved. And from backside, it coming over here. This is descending aorta. Descending aorta takes oxygenated blood to the lower part of the body. And this aortic arc, from the aortic arc, there are further some branches. These branches takes the oxygenated blood to different part of the body. Right subclavicle artery means right part of the clavicle artery, right clavicle part, right clavicle part. Right carotid artery, it takes blood to the like our upper part of the brain and all that. Left subclavian artery, so left part of clavicle. Left common carotid artery, it takes the blood to the left part of the brain, right? That's how it supply the blood. One more important thing. This is the right coronary artery and this is the left coronary artery. Coronary artery is the only artery which supply oxygenated blood to the heart itself, because heart itself require oxygen for its functioning. Rather, it's functioning continuously, it requires large amount of the oxygen continuously. So carotid artery supply blood to its own tissues like heart, right? So in case of the blocking of carotid artery, when the oxygen deficiency or oxygen scarcity creates in the heart, what happened? It causes angina. We'll discuss that angina pectoris, right? So this was the human heart. Is it clear? So now put the heading human heart. Start writing now. It is located between lungs. It is located between lungs in the thoracic cavity. It is located in human heart. It is located in between the human lungs in thoracic cavity. It is located in between human lungs in thoracic cavity. Full stop. Next point. The average weight is 280. Average weight is 280 to 340 gram. Average weight is 280 to 350 gram in males and between 230 to 280 in females. So heart size is smaller in females. Next point.
Sir, what is the reason of that the heart is smaller?
Actually, Yusra, most of the body parts are smaller in females, right? What is the reason behind it? First, you will compare normally whenever you will see that the body size of the female is smaller than males. First important. Second important, so the kidney, the lungs, and all parts, they are comparatively smaller in comparison to males, right? Including liver. Second, the most important thing, if you'll ask me, the main reason is that the males require more energy. Males require more energy for operating their body activities. The reason behind it, the metabolic rate is higher in males. So if metabolic rate is higher in male and the body size is larger, then it will require more oxygen. So if more oxygen supply is required, means the lungs will be larger. And to supply the oxygen, blood circulatory system is essential. So the heart should be larger comparatively. So that is the reason, because that is the anatomical structure, and the main peculiar thing is that is metabolic rate. So metabolic rate is higher in males, hence they require more energy, hence the lungs and hearts are larger in them. Clear?
Yes.
Fine. One more important thing, that is a heart size larger. So but if someone is athlete, suppose that if someone is like a good racer and or any kind of athletic activities he or she is involved in, so they may have twice larger heart than that of us. Like the heart of Usain Bolt, that should be, I think, the twice of our heart. So the heart and lungs become larger in those people who are involved in athletic activities, right? Next point.
So, sir, before they are an athlete, it's of normal size.
Right. It's normal size. Normal size.
Okay.
So whenever we practice yoga and all that, the size of lungs actually increases. That's why that is quite normal. You can understand if the size of lung will increase, then more oxygen supply will take place, and if the more oxygen supply will take place, then the body and organ will work better, like they will perform better. So that's why that's why the lifespan of athletes are more than that of us. Milkha Singh was a racer. He died at the age of 98. And when he died, before few months, he was running the park. So that's what the life of athlete is. So they have more lifespan than us. It is all the game of oxygen supply only. Pericardium is a protective covering. Pericardium is a protective covering full stop. It is two-layered structure. It's a pouch-like structure. It's a two-layered structure around the heart, which remains filled with pericardial fluid, which remains filled with pericardial fluid, Full stop. It protects heart from shock. And it allow free movement. That means contraction and relaxation. Next,
Sir, it allows?
it allows free movement. Next point. The left atrium, it's a very important point, please underline the point. Left atrium is smaller than right atrium. Left atrium is smaller than right atrium. Full stop. The superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava open into right atrium. Full stop. Inferior vena cava is larger than superior. Inferior vena cava is larger than superior. Full stop. Left atrium is less in volume. Left atrium is less in volume than right atrium. But it has thicker wall. Next,
So what's after is less in volume than right atrium?
the left atrium is less in volume than that of right atrium, but it has thicker wall. Next, the ventricles have thicker wall. Full stop. The wall of right ventricle is thinner than left ventricle. The wall of right ventricle is thinner than left ventricle. Full stop. Pulmonary artery brings oxygenated blood. Sorry, pulmonary vein brings oxygenated blood. Pulmonary vein brings oxygenated blood into heart at left atrium. Full stop. The aorta the aorta arise from left ventricle, full stop. It supply blood, it supply oxygenated blood, to all the tissues. Next, make a star. That's important. The coronary artery, it's very important. Make a star. It's a question for me. Coronary artery arise from ascending aorta. Where? From here. You can see in the diagram. This one. This is ascending aorta. This part. This is ascending aorta, and this is the coronary artery. Coronary artery arise from ascending aorta and supply oxygenated blood to heart. So anatomy clear?
Sir, can you please repeat after supplies?
Supply oxygenated blood to heart itself. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Next, put the heading blood circulation in human heart, or circulation in human heart. Did you take in the screenshot of the last one? Please make the diagram from this one only, whatever I have made, because this is the simplest diagram and this is the most illustrative diagram. You won't find the more simple diagram than this one, right? That's why I have drawn it actually. That was the sole reason, so that you could draw it your school level, right? Take the screenshot and draw it to your notebook, please. Leave a space and draw it to your notebook, right? So next is circulation of human heart, right? I'm again going to share a diagram which is made by me only, and that diagram that diagram is sufficient enough to explain all the processes. Too large. Look. Look, this is the human heart, and that's how the circulation takes place. It is lateral section of human heart, right? Please try to understand. First, please focus over here, and I will dictate everything, but dictation is not that much important. The important thing is that from where the blood is coming, how the blood is coming. Look, this is the superior vena cava. So deoxygenated blood is coming from the upper part. We have already discussed twice. Inferior vena cava, blood is coming from this lower part. Look, superior vena cava do not have any valve. It open obliquely, right? Oblique like the mouth of the flute, like that. That's how. Oblique means it open like this way. This is the oblique opening. So this is the oblique opening, and this is the mouth. So whenever the pressure falls over here, it closes down. It do not require any kind of the valve. So there is no valve in superior vena cava, right? Why? Because it's open obliquely. Next, the inferior vena cava open into right atrium. So superior vena cava, this is the right atrium. Superior vena cava is opening in right atrium. Inferior vena cava is opening in right atrium. Right, both are the opening in right atrium. Here in the right atrium, there is a wall between the right atrium and inferior vena cava. We call that wall Eustachian wall. So Eustachian wall is the first wall. You have to keep these names in your brain, and you have to reproduce it during your medical examination. It's very important. So between the inferior vena cava and right atrium, there is a wall which prevents the backflow, that is called Eustachian wall. Clear? Superior vena cava, no wall. Again, there is one more wall in the right atrium itself, coronary wall. So what is the coronary vein? Coronary vein, it takes the deoxygenated blood from the heart itself. So deoxygenated blood of heart comes back with the help of coronary vein. Coronary vein open exactly here in the right atrium, and the valve which prevent the backflow of the blood, the name of the valve either is, you can call it Thebesian valve or coronary valve. So coronary valve or Thebesian valve is second valve which prevent the backflow of the blood, and it is between the coronary vein and the right atrium. So there are only two valves, and the superior vena cava do not have any wall. Is it clear or not? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay. Come to the next point. Now, the blood comes back. Listen to me. Now, the blood comes back here. The blood comes back. This blood is coming back, right? So this blood is, the prevention of the blood to going back is protected by tricuspid wall. Tricuspid wall are three cup-shaped wall. What does it mean? It is like this structure is like this way. There are three cup-shaped structure which make the wall. This is called the tricuspid wall. So tricuspid wall, three half cup-shaped wall. So they are called tricuspid wall. Tricuspid wall prevent the backflow of blood into the right atrium. Again, the blood comes to right atrium. From right atrium, come to the right ventricle. From right ventricle, the semilunar wall. So blood goes to the aorta, and they are semilunar wall. These semilunar wall, they prevent the backflow of the blood from the pulmonary artery to the right ventricle. Right, these are the semilunar wall. Right. So there is another wall, means the third that is the third wall is semilunar wall. Again, the blood goes to the left and right pulmonary artery. It goes to the lungs. After coming back from the lungs, oxygenated blood, right? So now this is the oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is coming with the left pulmonary vein, and behind the heart there is a right pulmonary vein. It is coming to the left atrium. It came to the left atrium. From left atrium, it coming back to the left ventricle. From left atrium, it is coming to the left ventricle, right? Between the left atrium and left ventricle, there is a guard which prevent the backflow. This is called mitral valve. Mitral valve is also known as bicuspid wall. Bicuspid wall means two half cup shaped. Bicuspid wall means two half cup shaped wall. Blood came here in the left ventricle. From left ventricle, blood is going to the, with the help of this wall. This is called semilunar aortic wall. So the semilunar aortic wall. So this was the fourth wall. The semilunar aortic wall prevent the backflow of the blood from the aorta. So that's how the circulation of blood takes place in our heart. Tell me, is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Right. So please start writing now. Whatever I have explained you, now I will dictate the same. Write it down in the bullet form. First point. Superior vena cava opens superior vena cava, open obliquely into right atrium. Superior vena cava, open obliquely into right atrium, and they do not have right atrium, and they do not have any valve. Full stop. In the same, write it on the same line. Inferior vena cava also opens. Inferior vena cava also opens into right atrium. Inferior vena cava also opens into right atrium. It is guarded by Eustachian valve. It is guarded by Eustachian valve
Inferior vena cava also opens at
into right atrium, and it is guarded by Eustachian valve, which prevent the backflow. Change the paragraph.
Sir, do we have to learn these names as well?
You have to learn the name as well. That's what I am telling you. The name of the valve, it should be, that's why I have numbered. There are only 5 valves. You have to cram the name of these valve and where they are found and what is their function. This is very important. This is question for your medical examination, right? It must be remembered, right? That's why I have made this diagram clearly, like where the valves are present. Next, coronary vein. Underline this statement. Coronary vein bring back deoxygenated blood. Coronary vein bring back deoxygenated blood from heart and open into right atrium. Right atrium. Full stop. It is guarded by Thebesian valve or coronary valve. It is guarded by Thebesian valve or coronary valve, which prevent backflow. Full stop. Next point.
so it is guarded by
Thebesian valve or coronary valve. Thebesian valve or coronary valve. Full stop. Next. Blood comes from right atrium to right ventricle. Blood comes from right atrium to right ventricle, and the backflow is prevented by tricuspid wall. Tricuspid wall. Tricuspid wall. Full stop. In the same point, from right ventricle, blood goes into pulmonary artery. From right ventricle, blood goes into pulmonary artery, and the backflow is prevented by
So what's after blood goes into the
pulmonary artery, and the backflow is prevented by pulmonary semilunar wall. Pulmonary semilunar wall. Next,
so it is prevented by
pulmonary semilunar wall. This third number wall. Pulmonary semilunar wall. Next, left and right pulmonary vein opens into left and right pulmonary vein opens into left atrium. Left atrium. Full stop. From left atrium, oxygenated blood. From left atrium, oxygenated blood goes into left ventricle. From left atrium, oxygenated blood goes into left ventricle.
So can you
And
repeat from pulmonary vein?
pulmonary vein. Full stop. From left atrium, oxygenated blood from left atrium, oxygenated blood goes into left ventricle, and backflow is prevented by mitral valve or bicuspid wall, and the backflow is prevented by mitral valve or bicuspid wall. Full stop. From left ventricle, from left ventricle, blood goes to oxygenated blood goes to from left ventricle, oxygenated blood goes to from left ventricle, oxygenated blood goes to aorta, with the help of aorta, and backflow is prevented by aortic semilunar wall, and the backflow is
Sir, can you repeat?
from left ventricle, blood goes to aorta, and the backflow is prevented by aortic semilunar wall. Look diagram and tell me if any doubt. If you have any doubt, I will explain again.
so what's after blood goes to aorta with the help of
Blood go to aorta with the help of aorta, and backflow is prevented by aortic semilunar wall. Tell me, is there any confusion in these valves or circulatory pathway? Is it clear or not?
yes.
Tell me, guys. Is it clear to you?
Sir,
Yes.
what's the right pulmonary artery doing, sir?
Right pulmonary artery. Right. This is the same thing. Left pulmonary artery actually taking oxygenated blood from left lungs, and right pulmonary artery taking from the right lungs. That is the only difference, nothing else. Right?
Yes, sir.
Both of the lungs are receiving deoxygenated blood and both of the lungs are supplying oxygenated blood. Look, left pulmonary artery, it gives left pulmonary artery, it gives deoxygenated blood to left lungs. Right pulmonary artery, it gives deoxygenated blood to right lung. Again, when oxygenated blood left pulmonary vein, it brings back oxygenated blood from the left lung, and right here, this opening is of right pulmonary vein. They brings back oxygenated blood from right lungs. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Is there any more confusion? Any more question? Feel free to ask me if you have any doubt. Now I am trying to show you a video. If I have a video. Where I discussed, I think. Right. Yes, circulation. Yeah. Yes. I would like to show you this same thing I taught in some another class. I want to show you this heartbeat. How these are the walls. Look, before going deep into, this is the tricuspid wall. Please try to understand. Look, this is the actual heart, original heart. So this is the right atrium. This is the right ventricle, right? This is the right atrium. This is the right ventricle, right? This is the left ventricle, and this upper part is left ventricle. This is aorta actually. This is aorta where the blood is going, right? Let me start it. And look how the walls are working. It's very clear picture. It has been made by HCl. Look, here the right atrium, left atrium. Blue blood is deoxygenated blood, red blood is oxygenated blood. Septum is which divide two chamber. Right atrium, right ventricle. These are the tricuspid wall. Look, you can say there are the three half moon shaped or cup shaped structures. That's why we call them tricuspid wall. Left ventricle, it have bicuspid wall. It have two half moon shaped structure. This is also called mitral wall. That's how the blood is coming. These are the fiber like structure which is holding the wall. Look, these wall. Now come to this wall. These are the semilunar walls. Aortic semilunar wall, pulmonary semilunar. Look, aortic semilunar wall, and this is the pulmonary semilunar wall. Look, these are the bicuspid and tricuspid wall. How this wall open and closes down. This is the most clear vision. That's how the heart wall are. You can see the atrial walls are thin and ventricular wall are thicker. Thin atrial wall, look, and thick ventricular wall. Wall. Clear? Is it crystal clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So come to end your class, right? So that was the heart circulation. And the next thing which I want to, that is the origin of heartbeat. So now I want to discuss origin of heartbeat, right? How does the origin of heartbeat takes place? Then I will tell you what is the ECG, electrocardiogram. Then I will tell you electrocardiogram is very important, and then we will go to the disorders, and that's how they will finish with the chapter, right? So the next heading must be heartbeat. How does the heartbeat originate, or how does the heartbeat starts? Then heartbeat. Look, this is how the heartbeat originate and conduction takes place. There are a network of neurons which are responsible for our heartbeat. So our heartbeat start from here. There is a structure. This structure. This structure is called SA node, sinoatrial node. Sinoatrial node is called pacemaker. You must have listened the name of this thing, pacemaker. Whenever the pacemaker, the sinoatrial node stop working, we put an artificial battery and we call that battery pacemaker, right? So sometime you must have listened that particular person, he is the person who have, or she is the female which have the pacemaker, right? So this is the pacemaker. Heartbeat originate from this knot-like structure. This is present in the right atrium, right? Heartbeat originate from this right, and from here this goes into a node-like structure, this node-like structure, and this node-like structure is called AV node, aorioventricle. So this is the SA node and this is the AV node. From SA node heartbeat originate, and these neurons they brings the heartbeat to the AV node, aorioventricular node. From aorioventricular node there is a wire-like structure in the mid of our heart. This wire-like structure is called bundle of His, right? This is called bundle branch. So this is called bundle of His. Bundle of His. So bundle of His is main wire between our heart, and these wire is spread right and left part of the lungs. These wires or these branches, they are actually called these conduction pathway. These branches are actually called Purkinje fiber. They are called Purkinje fiber. So Purkinje fiber spread these charge. So when the charge is spread, the heart gets shocked and it expands, and then it contract itself, expand, contract itself, right? So that's how the conduction of the heartbeat takes place, right? Did you got my point?
So can you explain again?
Yeah, sure. Look, heartbeat originate from a knot-like structure. This is called SA node. From SA node, this current-like stream originate, right? So from SA node, this current like from here, this current like stream originate. From here, it goes into there is a branch. This is called branch bundle. It goes into left atrium. From here, first heartbeat or this current comes to the is this point. This is called AV node. So from SA node, the current comes to AV node. AV node is aurioventricular node. It have a main cable which is present between our heart, right, in the wall of heart, right. This is called bundle of His, right. Bundle of His, bundle of His. From bundle of His, there are two branches. These branches is spread around the heart, and these branches are all called Purkinje fiber. So from here, charge goes to Purkinje fiber. Whenever charge comes, heart gets shocked, and it gets a shock of charge. It expands and then it contract automatically. Expand, contract automatically. That's how the expansion and contraction takes place with the help of a pacemaker, AV node, bundle of His, and Purkinje fiber. Is it clear now? Clear?
Sir, so from AV node, the current is going to branch branch bundle.
Bundle of His. The name of that bundle of His. HISS.
No, this above one, sir. Above, like
Above one. This
bundle.
is called. This is also a bundle of His. This is also a branch of bundle of His. Right. We also call it bundle of His. Right. It goes to left atrium. Lower side, both of the ventricle, and upper side, left of the atrium. And right atrium, the shock originate from here only. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please write it down.
So, but isn't the heartbeat produced due to the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves?
No. How this valve open? How the pressure generate? From where the current is coming to operation of this pulse, right?
Oh,
So this current. So whenever this pacemaker or SA node release the current, it just gets shock, expand, and then valve open. So pressure, this pressure is generated by this current, right? So whenever it get the current, it got shock, open, expand. When expand, then valve will open. When contract, the valve will close down. That's how the valve get operated. Who is operating? Who is providing the energy? So this is the node which is providing the energy. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
Right. So please note it down. So heading is origin of heartbeat. The heartbeat originate from sinoatrial node, that is SA node. Heartbeat originate from sinoatrial node, that is SA node. Heartbeat originate from sinoatrial node, that is the SA node. Full stop. It is also called pacemaker. It is also called pacemaker, which lies between the wall of right atrium, near the opening of which lies between the wall of right atrium, near the opening of superior vena cava, near the opening of superior vena cava. Full stop. Okay. From SA node, the heartbeat conduction from SA node, heartbeat conduction reaches to AV node, in bracket, ventricular node, which is also situated
Sir, reaches to
AV node, this one reaches to AV node, ventricular node, which is also situated in the wall of right atrium, which is also situated in the wall of right atrium. Full stop. The AV node picks off, the AV node picks up the wave of, the AV node picks up the wave of contraction. AV node pick up the wave of contraction propagated by SA node, propagated by SA node. Full stop. Next point. A mass of
propagated by
SA node. Propagated by SA node. Full stop. A mass of specialized fiber. A mass of specialized fiber called bundle of His. A mass of a specialized fiber called bundle of His originate from AV node. Originate from AV node. Full stop. The bundle of His divide into two branches. One going into two branches, one going into each ventricle. Full stop. Bundle of His divide into network of fibers. Bundle of His divide into network of fiber called Purkinje fiber. Right? So one last thing. We have already discussed that thing in neural system. No, we haven't discussed. We will discuss in neural system. So please note it down. The cardiac center lies in medulla oblongata of brain. Cardiac center lies in medulla oblongata of brain, which controls the heart rate. Right?
Sir,
lies in the medulla oblongata, which controls the heartbeat.
So the charge created by this SA node creates contraction or expansion?
Contraction. So they put the shock. So in atrium they create expansion, in the ventricle they contract ventricle. Right?
Okay, sir.
So this ventricle get the pressure. When ventricle will press, then blood will go outside.
can you repeat from control?
Control. The control center of heartbeat lies into medulla oblongata. Of the brain. Yes. So this was our heartbeat. Clear? So what you have to remember? SA node, then AV node, then bundle of His, then Purkinje fiber. That's it. And from brain, it is controlled by medulla oblongata. Right? It is also controlled by some hormones, but we will discuss all those hormones in last chapter of the human physiology, that is a chemical coordination, right? So need not to worry for that. So yes. Now the next thing is heart sound, right? So what we are going to study, lub dub, that is a heart sound. Hmm.
Sir, can I just take the screenshot?
Yeah, sure. Please take. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the second thing is in the same that's the heart sound. Heart sound. So there are two heart sounds, and how does they relate? Heart. So please start recording now. The first heart sound. The first heart sound is caused. The first heart sound is caused by partially closure of partially closure of partially closure of bicuspid and tricuspid wall. Bicuspid and tricuspid wall, and partially by and partially by contraction of partially by contraction of muscles of ventricle. Full stop. This first sound is love. This first sound is love. Next, the second sound is caused by closure of second sound is caused by closure of semilunar wall, closure of semilunar wall. Full stop. This is the sound of dub. This is the sound of dub. It is shorter. It is sharper. Sorry. It is sharper and shorter in duration. Next thing, what I am going to tell you, that is called heart murmur. This is a question for your medical as well as it may be, if someone is making very tough examination, then it may be your school examination as well. If the question comes tough, otherwise this is for your medical examination. So what is called heart murmur? Heart murmur. So please note it down. Damage to the bicuspid or tricuspid wall. Damage to the bicuspid or tricuspid wall affect the quality of damage to bicuspid and tricuspid wall affect the quality of first heart sound. Let's stop. When semilunar wall are injured.
Sir, can you repeat?
The damage to bicuspid or tricuspid wall, damage to bicuspid or tricuspid wall affect the quality of first heart sound. Affect the quality of first heart sound. Full stop. When semilunar valve are injured, when semilunar valve are injured, then a hissing noise when semilunar valve are injured, then a hissing noise of lub hiss. Semilunar valve lub hiss is heard in place of second sound. In place of second sound. This is called heart murmur. This is called heart murmur.
So what's after in place?
Taking
Is heard
place
in place of?
in place of second sound, that is dub. In place of second sound, you can write bracket in dub. So lub sound will be there, but in place of dub, there will be lub and lub hiss sound, right? Clear? So this was lub dub, right? First and second heart sound.
So how do the tricuspid or bicuspid or semilunar valves get damaged or injured?
How does they get injured? There are number of the ways, right? Suppose that someone got shocked, right? Because of some great shock, someone got feared, right? Suddenly a hormone get released, that is called adrenaline, and heart rate increase. And heart rate increase in a jerk, and due to that jerk, valve get injured. Second, electric shock. Third, oxygen of supply was not proper, heart got damaged, tissue got damaged. There are a number of the ways. It may be due to any carcinogen, right? Means any harmful substance, maybe due to any harmful substance, right? There are the various reasons, number of reasons, right?
Yes, sir. So sir, is there any harm if we get this heart murmur?
Is there any?
Is there any harm? Like, is it bad? Like, why?
It's really
What
very bad.
happens?
Yeah, it's it's really very bad. Means person will not be that much efficient like me and you. So like it means that the blood is leaking from somewhere. Means oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is not completely clearly separated. It got mixed, right? Heart is unable to create that much pressure. The person will
Sir,
feel
what is the
pain.
cure?
Cure, heart, we just support the heart, and there is nothing cure. Even if somebody is pacemaker, then he or she is living with the God grace only, and he or she will live till the date God have grace. The day God will remove its blessing, the person will die on the same day, right? So until unless your heart is properly working, like we can expect a person is fully healthy. If heart have some element, if heart have some problem, then there is no guarantee, of course, right?
So what causes a hole in a heart?
Hole in heart, actually, when a person sometimes hole in heart remains from the childhood only, right? So sometime a baby is developing inside the mother's womb, but the heart tissues are not properly developed. So blood start oozing out. It's not as such hole as we consider. Not as such hole. There is a fissure, or there is a gap between the tissues from where the blood is oozing out. That is called hole in the heart, right? And it is very like it got the hole in the heart can be filled easily, not that much big task, right? After a operation, a person like get recovered, but until unless a baby becomes of 7, 8 or 10 years, you can't get him or her operated.
So is there a problem if somebody has a hole?
No, no, no. I have my like nice. He has a hole in heart, and doctor said that when he will become of a 7-year-old, then only he can be get operated. He become of 8-year-old. We admitted him. He was admitted for like 20-25 days, and now he's like of I think he's of 24-year-old, but he's like working properly and everything is fine. Nothing is, he don't have any kind of the problem. It's easy. A doctor fill that with the like surgery. So they fill the gap of the tissues easily. So that's not a Herculean task. It's easy. It's a not very big heart operation actually. It's a heart operation. So it's not that much critical actually, right? Okay. So the one last thing is ECG, electrocardiogram. If any one of you have gone to the or visited to heart hospital, you must have seen a machine which shows that graph like representation, right? And you will keep on listening from everywhere of the heart hospital, you will get beep, 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 that beep, right? So that beep comes from a machine, and that machine is called cardiogram. And the lines either you must have seen in the hospital, or you definitely you must have seen in the Hollywood movies, right? That heartbeat graph movies. That heartbeat graph which you see, that is called electrocardiograph. So that diagram, that graph is electrocardiograph, and that machine is called electrocardiograph, right? It measures the heartbeat, right? So that is the graphical representation of the heartbeat. Clear? Did you got my point?
Yes, sir.
So next heading is ECG, electrocardiogram. ECG, electrocardiogram. Now let me show you the PPT for electrocardiogram. What does it represent? It's really very important, and it has already been asked in medical examination many times, and it can be asked again as well, right? So listen and take the screenshot carefully. This is the best explanation. This PPT is best explanation. I'm going to stop the video because it is covering my screen. So just for a few seconds. Look. Now it was, is it visible to all of you clearly? Complete PPT is visible to all of you or not? No, it must not be complete visible to you.
Just scroll a bit down, sir.
Yes, just still I have to. I think now it should be clear to all of you. It must be visible. Is it visible?
Yes.
Just you have to see the graph. So this, I was talking about this graph. I was talking about this graph. Look, I was talking about this graph. This graph is called ECG. Yes. This graph is actually called ECG. This graph. P wave, QRS wave. This is, in fact, this is called QRS complex. This T wave, right? This is called ECG, electrocardiogram. Look, electrocardiograph you see in the machine, that is called electrocardiogram. So what does these wave represent? P wave means atrial systole, means systole means contraction, means the atria have contracted. So due to contraction of atria, blood forces into ventricle, blood comes into ventricle. From both of atria contract and blood comes into the ventricle. This is represented by P wave. We also call it that the compression of atria is also called atrial depolarization. Clear? Keep on telling me. Clear?
So once more.
So once more.
This P wave means, suppose that there is machine electrocardiogram. When you see the P wave, what does mean this P wave? So when I see this P wave in machine, I understood that now the both of the atria have contracted, and due to contraction of both of the atria, tricuspid bicuspid valve opened and blood from atria comes to the ventricle. Clear? So P wave means simply the contraction of both of the atria. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
We also call it atrial depolarization. Atrial contraction is also called as atrial depolarization. And then in that machine, the formation of P wave will form. Next wave is QRS. It is also called QRS complex. It takes place in two phases, first phase and second phase. This is ventricular systole, means now the ventricle will contract. Contraction of ventricle. Ventricle will contract. Due to ventricular contraction, these tricuspid and bicuspid wall will close down. First thing. So QRS complex, what is to represent? Atrial contraction, ventricular contraction. Because of QRS complex, when the QRS complex will form, it means ventricle have contracted. These semilunar, bicuspid, tricuspid wall closes down. Next, this semilunar valve open and blood goes out of ventricle. This is called ventricular systole or ventricular contraction. Is it clear? QRS complex is ventricular contraction or ventricular systole. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, you will see the T wave. What does mean by T wave? T wave means ventricular repolarization. T wave means that semilunar valve closes down and blood flows into atria. Means ventricular diastole. Means ventricular become relaxed. Systole means contraction. Diastole means relaxed. Is it clear? This complete graph, P wave, QRS complex, and T wave is called ECG, electrocardiogram. Is it clear? Look one more. If it's clear, take the screenshot and expect that you will draw it.
Sir, can you explain the last 2 points?
Yes, last point is that ventricular contraction. When T wave will form, T wave. So due to formation of T means T wave formation, what does this T wave represent? T wave means, look, these wall open and this wall closes. Sorry, this wall closes and these both of the atrium they get relaxed. And when they get relaxed, blood will comes into where? Into atrium. Ventricle will relax. T wave means ventricle will relax and blood will come into atrium. Is it clear? Look the guys PPT and let me know if it's clear or not. If not clear, then let me know. Yes, guys, is it clear? If it's clear, then I will move.
Yes, sir.
Great. Take the screenshot, then I'm going to move ahead. And last but not the least, the last thing is that disorder of cardiac disorder is disorder of circulatory system. we did, cardiac cycle we did, ECG we did, double circulation we did. Yes, disorder of circulatory system. So put the heading disorders of circulatory system. So we are going to study the disorders. So look, in disorders of circulatory system, so first disorder is, yes, hypertension, means high blood pressure. Put the heading, first disorder is hypertension or high blood pressure. Hypertension or high blood pressure. It is the most common disease. It is the most common disease affecting heart and blood vessels. Underline, affecting heart and blood vessels. Full stop. A blood pressure is a blood pressure of 120 80 120 80 mmHg is considered normal. Full stop.
Sir, can you repeat from common disease affecting?
Blood affecting heart and blood vessels. Underline this statement. Heart and blood vessels. Full stop. A blood pressure of 120 80 is considered normal. Full stop. But the increase of blood pressure beyond 140 90, but increase of blood pressure beyond 140 90 mmHg is called high blood pressure. Is called high blood pressure. Let's stop. It can harm heart, brain, kidney, and eye. So next disease is, so this was common disease, hypertension or high blood pressure. So come to the next disease. Next disease is CAD. CAD. CAD is called coronary artery disease. Coronary artery disease. Coronary artery disease. Or this is also called atherosclerosis. This is also called atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis. Start writing now. It refers to deposition of fatty substance. It refers to deposition of fatty substance, especially cholesterol, in the medium and large artery. In the medium and large artery.
So can it be from fatty acids?
It refers to deposition of fatty substances, especially cholesterol, in the medium and large arteries. In the medium and large arteries. Full stop. This deposition is called atherosclerotic plaque. This deposition is called atherosclerotic plaque. Atherosclerotic plaque. Full stop. It deforms atrial wall. Full stop. In extreme cases,
Sir, can you please repeat this line, the last one?
last one is it deform atrial wall. It deform atrial wall. Full stop. In extreme cases, this plaque may block. In extreme cases, this plaque may block artery completely. Right. It may also result heart
It will
attack.
block what?
It may block artery completely. It may block artery completely. Let's stop. It may result heart attack or heart stroke. It may result heart attack or heart stroke. Next point is LDL is means low density lipid. LDL, low density lipid. LDL, low density lipid. LDL is the main cause behind this disease. So low density fat is bad fat, right? That is very harmful for our body. What is next?
So, sir, the LDL is not supposed to be low. Is it supposed to be high?
Yes.
I guess there are two. One is low density limit and the other is high density limit as well.
High density, yes, high density fat is very good for our body. You know, what you call fat free, that fat free is not fat free actually. Fat free is fat, but that is free from the high density fat actually. Sorry, free from the low density fat. And you know, those kind of the junk food where these oil are heated continuously, they have high quantity of LDL, right? Suppose that you are taking French fries and all that, and the like shopkeeper is every time it is like frying this French fries in every time it's frying French fries by heating the same oil, so the oil get more and more content of LDL, and that is very harmful for our body.
So the LDL is supposed to be high and the HDL is supposed to be low.
Your voice is not clear to me. Can you be louder bit? Your microscope. Yes, Yashra, tell me.
The LDL is supposed to be low and the HDL is supposed to be high, right?
Right. Whenever you select the oil, so just study from every oil, whatever they present in market, you will study behind that. There will be that what is the LDL content, what is the HDL content. the oil with the high amount of the LDL content will be high amount of the HDL content will be very good for health. For sake of, for example, olive oil. Olive oil is the one of the best oil which is recommended by the doctors, recommended by the health nutritionist. So what they recommend the olive oil because it have very high amount of the high density fat, HDL, and fat free is the same.
People say that we shouldn't heat olive oil.
Yes, we shouldn't heat olive oil. That should, because if you will heat, then the density will start reducing and generation of LDL will take place. LDL is formed by the polymerization. When you will heat the oil, polymerization will take place, and due to polymerization, LDL formation will start. Then you are degrading the nature of that one. You should not heat too much olive oil, right?
So we shouldn't cook in olive oil.
We should cook, but not heat too much for longer time.
Okay.
You can give a short heat to that one, right? So if you are heating that, if you are frying something for half an hour, 1 hour, so that will definitely become an LDL. So this was the CAD or atherosclerosis. Then angina. Angina pectoris is the disease which is very popular, become the among the youngsters. So next disease is angina. Angina. It is also called angina pectoris. Angina pectoris. Actually, this disease is found in the youngsters of 25 year, between 25 to, in fact, from 22 to 23 year to 30 year age people. So the pain starts from here, the upside of the shoulder, and it's now then the pain comes down, keep on coming down until our heart, right? So it reaches to the heart, and that is the called angina pectoris. This is the only symptom of the angina pectoris. So note it down. The term angina pectoris means chest pain. The term angina pectoris means chest pain. Full stop. In this disease, enough oxygen does not reaches to heart. In this disease, enough oxygen does not reaches to heart muscles. Full stop. The
Can you
patient
repeat from chest pain?
chest pain. In this disease, enough oxygen does not reaches to heart muscles. So which is supplying the oxygen? I have told you, coronary artery, right? So coronary artery is, if suppose that coronary artery is blocked, it won't be able to supply the proper oxygen to the heart, and that will call angina pectoris, right? So in this disease, enough oxygen does not reach to the heart muscles, full stop. The patient experiences heart pain. Usually the patient experiences heart pain usually in front of the chest, full stop. It may occur in men and women at any age. But it is more common in middle-aged people. And next is heart failure. So the next disease is heart failure. Heart failure. Start noting down. It is the state when heart does not pump blood effectively. It is this. Heart failure means not as heart stop working. It is something different. Heart failure means it is not working as per its efficiency. That's it. Heart failure. It is the state when heart does not pump blood. It is the state when heart does not pump blood effectively. To meet the need of body. To meet the need of body. Full stop.
If the heart does not pump
Blood effectively. To meet the need of body. To meet the need of body. Full stop. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure because of congestion in lungs, Full stop. Next. So in the same next paragraph, in the same disease, next paragraph. Heart failure is not the same as cardiac arrest. Underline cardiac arrest. Heart failure is not as same as cardiac arrest. Full stop. In cardiac arrest, heart stop beating. In cardiac arrest, heart stop beating. Full stop. Next point. In heart attack, heart muscles suddenly get damaged. In heart attack, heart muscle suddenly get damaged due to inadequate supply. Due to inadequate supply. So this was all about the circulatory system. Tell me guys, is it clear or not? Is it clear to all of you? Clear?
So heart arrest means the sudden stopping of heart.
Yes, heart attack means a sudden stopping of working of heart. And the person will definitely die.
inadequate supply of oxygen.
There are various reasons. A person get feared. That may be the reason. Inadequate or supply of oxygen. That may be the reason. There are a number of the reasons. Right? Clear? Guys?
Yes, sir. Sir, the heart muscles get damaged.
Heart muscles? Tell me again. Yushra? Right. So this was all about the circulatory system. Yes, Yushra, you are asking something.
Yes, sir. So I was asking that the heart muscles, they get damaged due to inadequate supply of what?
Yes, that may be the inadequate supply of oxygen. That may be due to get feared. Suddenly, adrenaline secreted, and heart got shocked, and maybe damage of tissues. Various reasons. Even the hypertension. That is also one of the main reasons. Hypertension. So the next chapter is what? Excretory product and their elimination. Means excretion. Right. So next chapter is excretion.
Sir,
Yes.
if you don't mind, I have a question. It's a bit out of the course. Can I
Yeah,
ask?
sure. No issue.
Why do cats have vertical pupil?
Why?
Why do cats they have a vertical pupil?
Cats.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cats and like they are basically their eyes are functional even at night. And you know, some of the cat family, that is the family Felidae family actually. So they have actually they sometimes they hunt at the night time. Comparatively, they have more cone cells. You know, in our eye there are two type of the cells: rod cells and cone cells. Sorry, they have more rod cells. The rod cells and cone cells. Cone cells make us capable to see in the daytime. Rod cells make us capable to see in the night time. We have more cone cell and less rod cells. But in the case of cat, in the case of some other like the hyena, those who are nocturnal animals, right? So they have actually the high amount of the rod cells. That's why they can see the things in the night. So their pupil is wider, because if they won't have wider pupil, then how the light will enter in their eyes in the rod cells at the night time. So the light reaches in the high amount at the night time, so their pupil is wider, and then they can then their rod cells receive lots of light, and then they can see at the night time. So all the animals like lemur, if you'll see the lemur closely, their pupil is very wide. So, and they have very big flat kind of the eyes, right? So because of this structure of eye, this structure of their pupil, they receive large amount of the light at the night side, and they are able to see in the night as well. That is the reason they have wider pupil. And we are not nocturnal.
Okay, sir.
We are day animals. We cannot see. We hardly see at the night time. So that's why our pupil is smaller, and rod cells make us capable to see in the night time, in the low intensity light. And those people whose rod cell get damaged, they are unable to see at the evening time or the night time, and we call it, that is a what night blindness. We call it night blindness, right? Clear? So I think today is no more time to start with a new chapter, right? So we'll start in the next class. Any more confusion? And
No, sir.
definitely we'll complete the course before your examination, like far before your examination, right? Because right now today we have completed the circulatory system, and in this term 2 examination, excretory, excretory, 4 chapter are left only. 4 chapter are left. We'll do that. And after the excretory is
Sir?
the smaller one. Yes.
Sir, my pre-boards are starting like from 8th of February. So do you think
Yeah.
from now on
We
we'll finish the portion?
obviously, I think that, look, just calculate right now. So today is 24, and the next class will be of 31st, right? 31st.
Yeah.
At 31st, almost we will do the excretory system. Almost. almost right. 90-80% will do the excretory system. Now, then when you are going, when your pre-board is going to start?
8th of February.
8th of Feb. Then we have the class on Wednesday 2nd. Then in 2nd we will reach to the locomotion, right? And then Monday is on 7th.
Sir, our next class will be on 26th Wednesday.
Next class will be on, yes, next class will be on, yes, next class will be on 26th Wednesday. 20, yes, 26 will do the this, yeah, very good. 26 will do the this one, excretory, almost 80%. And then we will do the locomotion. Locomotion will finish by the Feb Wednesday. Wednesday will finish the locomotion, and then we will start with the neural control. Just a minute. Today's you can do one more. Shahid, it was you, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can say you can do one more thing. You can do one thing. I am running the classes on Saturday, Sunday as well, right?
Yeah, sir. Okay.
You talk to Niskarji, right? Even I will say him, right? You talk to Niskarji. So what you have to do, you can do one thing. You can join me on the next Saturday as well, right? In that
Okay.
class, I am teaching. In fact, I have completed half of the chapter. In that class, I am teaching the chemical coordination. Look, right now, I'll tell you where I am. Look, Middle East, Saturday, Sunday. Where is that batch? Yes, Saturday, Sunday batch. This batch. In this batch, what I have completed hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, and thyroid gland. I will tell you this gland additionally in like another class, right? So from the thyroid onward, you can study over here. In the Saturday, you can cover this chemical coordination. You will cover most of this chapter on. This is very easy. Hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, and thyroid. I have explained a very few part. I have covered only the 20% part, 15-20%. Right. Rest of the part you can cover with me on Saturday and Sunday. Right. So Saturday, Sunday, you will cover your last chapter. Clear?
Okay, sir.
In this batch, you have to coordinate with Niskarji, right? And join this batch.
Okay, sir.
Right? If you want to complete, you will definitely complete before your examination. And then come to the your batch. So when you come to your batch, so where is that? This was your batch, right? In your batch, I was telling that in your batch, I will complete 24. Today's 24, and 26 will the excretory system, and then again in 31st, I will start with the locomotion, and yes, your syllabus will be completed if you do that. If you join only 2 classes, Saturday, Sunday class. So you have to join Saturday, this week Saturday, this Saturday, coming Saturday. So you have to join me on 29th, 38th, then 31st, then 2nd. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And definitely we'll cover this complete topic by the, I think, we'll complete the complete syllabus by the 8th. By the 8th, or yes, we'll complete this syllabus by the 8th or maximum 14th. I'll try to finish it till 8th. So all of you have exam from the first week of the February onward?
No, sir.
Fine.
So
No
we
issue.
have no idea when will be our exams.
Okay.
Sir, it's pre-board, sir. Like the main exam, the final exam is starting from 20th of February.
20. We'll cover it by like 8th or 14th, maximum by 14th, most probably by 8th.
Yeah, okay.
Fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you. Bye bye. Good night. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back. Bye. Good night.